Today we are going to learn about the nature of language learning. By the age of 6 months, an infant has produced all of the vowel sounds and most of the consonant sounds of any language in the world. Before they are 3 years old, masters most of the distinctive sounds of their first language and have an awareness of basic discourse patterns. By the age of 5 or 6, they can control most grammar patterns. Children learn language by imitation. While it is true that much of children's initial language learning can be attributed to their imitation of sounds and words around them, many of their utterances are quite original and cannot be explained as imitation at all, since they can never have heard them before. The role of natural ability. Humans are born with a natural ability or innate capacity to learn language. Such a predisposition must be assumed in order to explain several facts. The first is children begin to learn their first language at the same age and in much the same way, whether it is English, Bengali, Korean, Swahili, or any other language in the world. The second one is children master the basic phonological and grammatical operation in their first language by the age of about 5 or 6, as noted above, regardless of what the language is. The third one is children can understand and create novel utterances. They are not limited to repeating what they have heard, and indeed the utterances that children produce are often systematically different from those of the adults around them. The fourth one is there is a cut-off age for first language acquisition beyond which it can never be complete. And the last one is acquisition of first language is not simply a facet of general intelligence. In viewing the natural ability to acquire language in the terms of innate capacity, we are saying that part of language structure is genetically given to every human child. All languages are incredibly complex systems which no children could possibly master in their early years to the degree they succeed in doing so if they had to learn them in the usual sense of that word. Children's ability to create new utterances is remarkable, and their ability to recognize when a string of common words does not constitute a grammatical sentence in the language even more so. Next is the role of social experience. About social experience, there are some facts that the first one is will never acquire language unless that language is used with them and around them, no matter what is their language. Second one, immigrant children. No interaction between their background, they will never learn the language. And the third, as long as children are experiencing input and social interaction, the rate and sequence of development doesn't change. And the fourth one is the only thing that may change is pronunciation, vocabulary, and social function. First language versus second language learning. Initial stage, knowledge about language structure and principle. Intermediate stage, basic language development. Final stage, outcome of learning. Initial stage, first language is about innate capacity, and the second language is about innate capacity. What is innate capacity? In this case, are first language knowledge, world knowledge, and interaction skills. This is about intermediate states, these processes. The first one, maturation, or as a children mature, so do their language abilities. And second language is transfer of prior knowledge from first language to second language. There are two transfer, positive transfer and negative. Positive transfer, when a first language structure is used in a second language utterance and that use is appropriate or correct. Subject or vocabulary. While negative transfer is opposite of positive transfer, considered an error. The example of negative transfer. Can I assist to your class? I have been always to class on time. This is about necessary conditions. The first language, input, interaction with other people, and the second language, input, not necessarily interaction, radio, television, internet. And the next one is about facilitating condition, second language. Rate and ultimate level of development can be determined by this. The first one is feedback. It is correction of second language learners' errors. And the second one is aptitude. It is memory capacity and analytic ability. The third one is motivation. This is need and desire to learn. And the fourth is instruction. Explicit teaching in school setting. Final state. First language is about native competence, fluency like a native speaker. And the second language are about multilingual competence, never be totally native linguistic competence. Level of proficiency which learners reach is highly variable. Some learners reach near native or native-like competence in second language along with native competence in first language. Still face interference of first language or creative structure different from any that would be produced by a native speaker of the second language.